Welcome to another Peter Pig video. This one's about painting 15mm Macedonian cavalry from Macedonian army in 50mm in the Conquerors and Kings rules. This unit's painted quite quickly, or these two units are painted quite quickly, 2 hours total time. Of course that 2 hours spaced over a day or so with other activities going on as well. They're good enough for my war games. I give a brief review of how I've done them and how I've put them all together. I'm quite pleased with them, but they're for my war games, so I hope that you'd enjoy them for your games too. So here we are, 2 units, 50mm companion cavalry by Peter Pig, and their one-piece castings. Here we go. Here's the initial box of castings. They've just come out of the mould. They've got all sorts of little bits of feeding on them and the like. They're not cleaned up yet. Here's the ones I selected to use. So I've got some command. There are 3 poses of men with lances and 2 command poses. 2 units, each of 9 figures. Bases. I use a Peter Pig plastic basis. Rough them up with a little bit of sandpaper and clip off the corners. Clipping off the corners, just an aesthetic. I think it looks quite nice, but certainly not important. I just don't want sharp corners to damage myself or take an eye out. And these are little plastic bases. I think they're about 2mm thick. The sandpaper used to rough the bases up is quite a rough grade because you've got to scratch the surface to what's called key it in. But keying in the bases makes the figure stick better and the basing effects stay better as well. And here it is. It's a very rough, this one's aluminium oxide paper, but it's just rough. But scratch it all over the bases and that keys it in nicely. Here's the figure stuck on the bases. Now this is quite a quick job, that's why I stick them on the bases first. I've set them back so you've got space at the front. Next thing I did an undercoat of tan and a wash with army paint or some sort of brown wash. It pulls out the detail very nicely. Sometimes with a wash the ink gets a bit fugitive and runs down, so sometimes after I've inked them I put the figures on this side or even upside down so ink flows the other way to stick in the faces and those crevices higher up. Here's the figures with the main colours put on. Faces, spears, horse browns, that sort of thing. The main colours have now been applied. Here's another view of the same sort of thing. The painting isn't particularly fine, but it's good enough what I want wargaming wise. Here's a view from above. They look a bit messy because it's got all over the bases and the like. But as I said, this is a 2-hour job completely from start to finish of both units. So it's just 2 hours to do 18 figures, with little gaps in between of course, but 2 hours of labour. Here they are, a little bit of dry brushing, which is where you use a little bit of paint on a brush and just space some painting over the top. Now this is nice, the acrylic, I think these are game colour here. The silver and the bronze acrylics are really good. I also like the Vallejo ones and other acrylic ones, absolutely marvellous. For basing effect I use a filler called Tetrium, which is hard and quite flexible. I do it very thin but try and cover the figure bases. Little bits of pencil eraser or pencil rubber snap off with my fingernails and pop into the mix too, and then sprinkle it all with a very dry sand. The sand's got to be dry, it'll clump all over the place. This gives a nice solid base texture which isn't over exciting. A little bit sisal string in there too. Here's another view of the same chaps again. You can see the figures are often set back a bit. That's to protect their spears. And these are base for Conquerors and Kings. So fight by the base. Here's them from above. You can see I've used a bit more ink on the cloaks to show the yellow and the purple. The base effects all done, the metallics are all done. They're almost ready. Now here I've used a nice bright grass green for the basis. All the paints used here are acrylics. A nice colour, because don't forget indoors it's much darker than outdoors. So I need things to light properly so I can see what's going on. And here they are finished. I've done a little bit of dry brushing yellow on top of the green, and it gives a finish that I like. Others might not, but I like it. And there's 2 units ready to play Conquerors and Kings with. In Conquerors and Kings, these are classed as cavalry, armoured, shieldless, veteran or elite. They're totally finished. As I said, 2 hours total working time.